What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I went through the recap of the league, man. Um, it's been a fun ride. We got a couple championships out the deal, and this is the team that we put together so far. Well, not so far, but um, this is the team that we put together over the course of 8 seasons in Couch Coaches. So, it got us started with the quarterback, man. He's a 99 overall, Tyler Huntley. This is our guy. Unfortunately, the last, I think, 5 or 6 games of the season, of season 8, were simulated to get straight to the playoffs. So we didn't get to, push for our usual stats and shit like that. So it is what it is. But as you can see, the numbers, if you go by QBR only, we increased our QBR every single season. All the way down from year 1, just getting acclimated with the game. Year 2, forcing passes like crazy. Year 3 as well. Year 4 was the season we took off and we came back in 2024. And from this point on, it was just, ringer, like just killing shit, dog. Averaging about 67 touchdowns a season over that 3-year stretch. I mean, if you really count it, every year after year 1 was about a 67 touchdown season. We decreased our turnovers exponentially. That's one of the things that I do. I'm most proud of. Reducing those turnovers, man, and still keeping the same level of production is fucking great. Even if you just compare season 2, 72% completion percentage, almost 6,000 yards, 69 touchdowns was great, but we threw 34 interceptions that year. And I believe we probably had 10 plus fumbles as well. But it's still a great season. I believe he made the Pro Bowl this year, if I'm not mistaken. And if you take that and you compound it to the last full season we played, which is, about 300 yards less, but 65 touchdowns and 20 less interceptions. So, and I believe this is about the same amount. We had more pass attempts and less interceptions in this season, which is crazy to think. It's obviously our best year at 81% completion percentage. And this was the season that I stopped using touch passes as much. I wasn't using those. I was more so attacking down the field. And, just having fun with the game, having fun with basic passing concepts and shit like that. But, that's the last full season that we played. 65 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. That's our best year, I would say. Obviously, because the QBR is higher, so it is what it is there. Huntley is also a dual threat quarterback, man. So, as you can see here, we used to run the ball quite a bit and tapered that off a lot after year 2. Even with 57 rush attempts, and 38 rush attempts, 54. Like, this is nothing too crazy. I maybe run the ball with the quarterback anywhere between 3 to 5. Maybe 7-8 times a game, but sometimes I don't even run it at all. But in the last couple seasons, the last 3, we dabbled we dabbled more with RPOs and shit like that. So we were able to get our quarterback in open field a lot, and use them in the red zone and just secure points. You know what I mean? So in the last couple seasons, that's 25 touchdowns. 3 years. That's nothing to scoff at right there. Feel me? Take a look at his overall, his attributes and all that good stuff as well. I mean, it's a 99 overall quarterback. This is what they look like, None of it's edited. This is just earned over time, bro. 8 seasons of grinding with this man. And if you didn't know, he starts out as a 58 overall at launch. So. Definitely a grind initially, but for the most part, man, completely happy with Tyler Huntley. Got him up to 91 throw power. He just recently got that upgrade as well, somewhere around here. I want to say it was before the simulated stuff. Maybe not. Let's go back up to the top. Yeah, there it is. In wildcard week, he got a throw power upgrade. He was at 90 all of last season. Which that was the upgrade after the first Super Bowl. So 3 seasons he played at 93rd power and finally got up to 91. But that's Tyler Huntley, man. The next pride and joy of the team is going to be our guy Sergio Becton, who still can't use his skill points, mainly because he's maxed out on everything, man. And this was I've always been able to build wide receivers, but this one was probably the most fun and the most dominant player I've ever had. Like, obviously, he's 99 speed, bro. I think he started out at 96 as a rookie, which is more than enough speed. But then being at 97 and then having him at 98, 99, it's just icing on the cake. And he plays like a 99 overall wide receiver as well. I don't take as many gambles as I used to in this game, but being as though that now he's 92 jumping, 99 speed, I feel confident in his abilities to go up and get the ball. Being as though he's also 99 catching traffic, spec catch, all of that. What's crazy is for the longest time until he started, getting to the high 90s overall, he, I think, only had like 84 change of direction. Got that up to 90, 89, which is dope. Break tackle, for whatever reason, he just kept getting like +4 break tackle towards the end of his upgrade points. And yeah, that shit, like, finally got up to breaking tackles after the catch without me actually having to do anything. Like, he would just randomly break tackles. It's pretty dope. Take a look at his overview over his 7 or 8 year career. 7 years. In 7 years, every season that I've played with him, he's been over 100 catches except the last 2. I don't count this one just because the last 2 games of the season as well. And this year, I did not play. People just weren't trying to play me anymore. Like, it's end of the season, they didn't have anything to play for, and I was like, I'm not playing them, bro. Like, fuck it. Because they would have ran to score up on it yet. But this was by far the most fun year. I made the most highlight videos this season. 161 catches, bro. Like, 161 catches. If you cut these stats in half, that's still a Pro Bowl year. Because that would be 80 catches, 1,400 yards, 21 touchdowns. That's still a Pro Bowl season, you know what I mean? Maybe not the receptions, it's not that high, but even still, 21 touchdowns is nothing to scoff at. And this motherfucker had 42, bro. He doubled it. It was shout out to the person that had my team that one season, and had the most yards in his career, 3,000 yards. I don't know what he was doing, what kind of offense he was running, but yeah, that's nothing to scoff at either, man. 3,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, but excuse me, mom. But yeah, that's the first Super Bowl season, and this one was a Super Bowl season as well. So we got 2 chips out of the deal. And let me show the yearly awards, like, for these 2. Alrighty, so let's go back to stats. I should probably be asleep, to be honest, bro. It's 12:30. But yeah, the career awards for Tyler Huntley. Led the league in passer rating 3 times. That was until that wasn't until Jacory retired with those Chiefs, man. Mahomes was getting all the awards, bro. But MVP. Damn, I am dying. All right, so I need to know who won MVP this last season, because obviously we didn't do it. So yeah, I need to know who won MVP. Or it might be this one. Might be 2026. I might be tripping. All right, but anyways. Getting to the O-line. The O-line has been solidified. That's funny. So initially we had a lot of cap trouble. We had to trade Teron Armstead earlier in the league. I want to say we traded him after year 1. try to recuperate, get a bunch of young talent on the team. It wasn't worth it, to be honest, and I wouldn't do it again. But yeah, Teron Armstead made his way back via free agency this offseason. And I slotted him in at right guard just because once he left and I moved Ramczyk to left tackle, I was, you know what, I'm committed to that guy playing left tackle. I'm used to him playing left tackle. However he plays, that's what I want over there on my left side. So we brought Armstead back. I just slapped him in here at right guard because this is the guy that we had as our starter. It's not a bad offensive lineman, but he's not a great pass blocker at all. 75 pass block with the morale boost. So he's not the best pass blocker. And then, of course, Teron Armstead has ability. He's post up and nasty streak. Can't go wrong with that. And, yeah, much better pass blocker. 93 pass blocks. So that's why he's got the start there. And then having 80 speed at guard was kind of fun just to run powers and traps and shit like that. Any type of like pulling guards, like, you know, that was fun running that with Armstead. More exclusively, I ran QB power to the left because Armstead would be my puller with nasty streak, and then I have nasty streak and nasty streak on that side as well. So that was just a fun thing to run. I would just run power to the left. It's kind of funny. Also, running power out of shotgun, by the way. Eric McCoy has been my starter at center for the Super Bowl years. But earlier in his career, I believe I had moved him to left guard, and I had Cesar Ruiz running center for me. But I believe once I traded Ruiz, I moved McCoy back to center. So there's that. He's been back in his natural position there. This acquisition, I can't remember what I traded for Quenton Nelson. I want to say it was a superstar cornerback and something else. But we got the big boy in here, Quenton Nelson. Post up and nasty streak. That's what I run on my guards here. And this was a really good investment, man. This was a really good investment. In his 3 seasons with us, he's given up 6 sacks. I can deal with that 100%. You know, and countless pancakes which are not statted for whatever reason. Ramczyk is that guy. McGlinchey is, I can't say he's been horrible. He's not been worth the contract that he's paid. Like, he's not been worth, you know, as you can see, double-digit sacks like almost every year, bruh. Almost every year, except the year we didn't win the Super Bowl. But yeah, everything else, like, bro, like it was just, he led my team in sacks given up every season, by a good margin, probably by double most times. But the third pride and joy of the offense, bro, Connor Spiegel, and this was a surprise build, to be honest, because these two guys, Spiegel and Westbrook, were drafted the same season, or in the same draft. I didn't have a first-round pick because I traded for Ezekiel Elliott. So this is my first pick, and I believe, yeah, second-round pick 32. We wound up picking up this guy here. It's such a down year, bro. Like, but he started off as a freaking 70 overall, right? 3 straight Pro Bowls. Started out as a 70 overall player, and ironically, I was getting more into RPOs the season I drafted him, and a lot of those RPOs were just going to the tight end. I was getting tight end in the flats. I was hitting tight ends on spot routes and sit routes and drag routes, and, you know, like just basic routes where I was dialing up a play concept, and, you know, the tight end was the check down. So I wound up racking up catches, hit a couple touchdowns, you know, for him, especially in the red zone, the way I run my red zone offense, and he racked up a ton of touchdowns. And in season 2, he, you know, picked up superstar dev at the end of season 2, well, his second year, not season 2. At the end of his second year, he, you know, acquired X Factor at the end of the season and kept it. So I was like, okay, we got an X Factor tight end. But I honestly, if it wasn't for him getting those stats and developing as fast as he did, I would have actually preferred to develop Westbrook. Why? One is because Westbrook is taller. He's 6'5". Spiegel is 6'4". And Westbrook is also 247 pounds. I honestly, I think there's a difference between a tight end that's 247 and 230 something, which I think he is. Yeah, 237. He just doesn't play as big. He gets some box out catches. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like being 6'5", you get better animations. Or 6'5" or taller, you do. But in any case, Westbrook was only 80 speed, and Spiegel was 85, and that's how I determined who I was going to run with. Like I said, I honestly would prefer to have built him, just because he has aggressive catch and run after catch traits, which that run after catch trait is severely slept on. If you don't have that shit, those drags sometimes just don't turn upfield properly for you. But only having 80 speed and having an option to have an 85 speed guy out here, as you can see, that's a pretty big difference. But aggressive catch is what he has. It's okay. Ironically, building up deep vertical threat archetype for so long, he was able to get a ton of run blocking upgrades. Like, he's up to 77 by default, 79 with the morale boost. And yeah, that's kind of insane, considering that he's only a 237-pound tight end, really a flex slot receiver, to be completely honest. Yeah, this is an interesting build, but like I said, it's one that's for the ages, man. His numbers are undeniable. He does have a ton of touchdowns in the 2 seasons that I was, playing with him full time here. And I really wasn't using my tight end as much this last season. I was just playing around, with RPOs and mostly, and figured out QB runs. Wasn't really hitting the tight ends that much, but 75 averaging 76 catches and about 900 yards, as well as averaging 17 touchdowns in his first 2 full seasons. That's a pretty good career so far. All right, so that's all the players that I built from scratch. From the time of being a rookie. If we get on to someone we acquired via trade, we did trade for Ciante Sprinkle when he was like a 74 overall. We wanted a bigger body receiver on the outside to play my Z, and that's just how I build offenses in general. I like to have a little bit of disparity. But in any case, we got him after, he went to waste in Arizona for 2 seasons. Picked him up here, and as a normal dev project, he didn't do much in his first season. Second season, he got to star dev. He got to star dev, that's it. Ironically, for this season, I had got him to X Factor. Via scenario engine. I was like, he finally gets dev. I got him to X Factor. He was X Factor for the playoffs, and then we lost. And then for the oh no, I'm lying. I got him to X Factor this season. This is the season I didn't win the Super Bowl. But he had pretty solid numbers. Got him to Superstar via scenario. He unlocked X Factor via scenario. After the Super Bowl, he lost X Factor, went back to Superstar Dev, which sucked, but it is what it is. We don't need double me as much as we need route tech. So that's what we did with him. And it's a pretty good progression here. Obviously 2025 is his peak. Most catches, most yards, most touchdowns, but even still, the next season is nothing to scoff at as well. With 1,300 yards, 96 catches, and 12 TDs. This season did not really target him much in terms of red zone targets, but still just around 1,300 yards. You kind of can say he's on a decline, but he would definitely get another contract with me. It's just convenient having those 2 guys there. on the team that can beat man coverage, man press, and all that good stuff. So we did acquire Ezekiel Elliott. I believe we traded a first-round pick and something else for him as well. He was the reason why we didn't have a first-round pick the year we picked Spiegel, and wound up picking a tight end in the second round. Because that was really the only hole we had, and Spiegel was a good prospect coming out. So, but yeah, Zeke Elliott, he was the key to my Super Bowl runs, to be honest. He was the key. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He was the key. Because at the time he was X Factor, he had Freight Train as his X Factor, all the way up until the start of this season here. But that Freight Train X Factor is something insane. If you can get the running game going, I highly recommend Freight Train. As you can see, he was averaging 7 yards a carry here. We picked him up mid-season at the trade deadline for this season, so I would count that one as a wash. And then, you know, just under 1,000 yards each season, even though he's only getting 130 totes. Like, that's crazy. In the pass game, and, you know, it puts him over the 1,000-yard mark for the season, which is dope. But in any case, that's the offense, man. I know that was a pretty long introduction, but defense I'll get through real quick. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, bro. Getting over to the defensive side, players that we've had the entire time is going to be, of course, Marshon Lattimore, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who was essentially my nickel back, sub safety, hybrid kind of role. He is, I would say, a streaky player, bro. Even though he's a 99 overall now, like, he is a streaky player if I ever seen one. And I'll show you what I mean. Like, if you just look at his career stats here, like, you'll see up and down years. 8 interceptions. This is what he had prior to week 10 or 11 or whatever it was. The last game we played was the Washington football team. Yeah, he had 8 interceptions within the first 6 games, and then, like, ghost for the rest of the year. Of course, most of those games are simulated, but for the most part, man, when he is on, when I'm playing zone, I'm just letting him range as the free safety, bro. Like, it's a wrap. Don't throw up the seams. Don't get any tip balls. Is gonna get picked off. You know what I'm saying? The abilities I rocked on him all year has been Tackle Supreme and Pick Artist. Tackle Supreme mainly because I just needed help in the run game. If I was going to use a safety versus the run, I needed to bring him down and, you know, get to the outside, basically set the edge, and then click off and let Tackle Supreme do what it does. You know what I mean? Reinforcement, I feel like I should have went with something else, maybe like shutdown or something like that. But I think reinforcement is low-key one of the better abilities to have on a safety. Because, you know, being able to shed blocks when when that's the only thing between you and your opponent scoring a touchdown, it's pretty key. But yeah, let's get to his career stats so far, and because he had one year where he was like up for Defensive Player of the Year. That's this one. The year we didn't win the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl years of 24 and 26. But yeah, 100 tackles, 11 TFLs, 3.5 sacks, 19 picks, 400 yards, 9 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 6 touchdowns. And he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year, I don't think. Let me see. Oh no, he did. All right, cool. So he won Best DB and Defensive Player of the Year that year, and only made 3 Pro Bowls in 8 seasons. Like, that's a bit insane. Let's take a look at the career stats real quick. Yeah, I want to say these are his 3 Pro Bowl years right here. Obviously, the ones with more interceptions, but like the other years are not, you know, it's not far off. It's not bad. This year, these two, he was for sure playing nickel. I had him in the nickel, as well as strong safety in these 2 years. And this is the first year he got the abilities, and I moved him back to safety, just so I can have, like I said, tackle supreme and pick artist. And I want to say this is the year I didn't play. This is the year we came back, won a Super Bowl. He's playing free safety again here. Free safety, free safety, free safety. But that's my 99 overall safety, man. I mean, it's not much you can say about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, test him if you want to. And our guy here, Marshon Lattimore. Last I checked. Now, I don't know if he's got any interceptions since then. Last I checked, he was 1 interception away from tying the all-time interception record, and obviously he only got 1 in the 6 games that were simulated, bro. That's so bad. Hey, he only got 1 interception, bro. That's insane, dog. I really wanted to break that record. Like, I really did. That really blows, bro. Let's get back to his career stats, though. The number that I was looking at is 81. 81 interceptions in a career. Marshon Lattimore did that. Just consistently being a top corner in the league, bro. Like, he didn't get superstar dev until at the end of season 3. He finally got it. This is the last season I played before I took a break for a year. But there it is, 13 interceptions in that season, and that's what got him to superstar. Got him to X Factor in this season, which is the first year we won the Super Bowl. Another 12-pick interception season, and just being consistently above 15 PBUs. Obviously, the final year, so many simulated games, bro. But this is the only year he didn't get 15 pass breakups, but he's at 18, 15, 21, 16, all that and all that. Not many touchdowns he scored, but, playing an outside corner, you're not going to score a lot of touchdowns. But, yeah, that's Marshon Lattimore. That's our guy. An interesting build-up was Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis has played strong safety for me. He's played nickel. He has played boundary corner. Like, he's been moved around the most in my defense. And it's all because he's 6'1", with historically 90 speed and 88-plus man coverage, or 90-plus man coverage. He's just been a solid player, bro. High motor, strip ball, aggressive play ball. This guy wasn't superstar until... so obviously we didn't start out with him. We did pick him up in free agency to basically come in and play nickel cornerback. I was going to play him at my nickel just because he was big and tall and could and could jump, decent hands. And then he did solid here with star dev. The user that played that season for me got him up to 11 interceptions. I believe he played him at safety this season. He had to because they get 89 tackles. And I came back and did the same exact thing. Played him at safety. He happened to get a dev upgrade at the end of the season, after the Super Bowl and stuff. Kept the superstar dev for the rest of his career. So I had a good 3 seasons with him. Got 2 Super Bowls out the deal. He actually won Super Bowl MVP with a pick 6 and a pick 2 in that game. So it's probably not going to show it in the awards, but yeah, he was definitely a Super Bowl MVP. So in my book, you always got to home with me, Carlton Davis. Always got to home with me, man. And his numbers haven't been crazy, bro. It's just been consistently playing as my left corner. 20 pass deflections is nothing in Skullfat, bro. 13, 14, 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, good numbers. Good numbers. Let's see here. Who else we got on D? Carl Lawson has been here for quite some time, as well as Eric Armstead. Armstead has never really been as dominant as I wanted him to be. But the year where I had Armstead, I had D Ford and Cam Jordan on the D line. Oh man, that was crazy. It was three guys with abilities, and it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal, really. But we ended up acquiring Carl Lawson a couple seasons ago. Actually, my first year back in the league, and he did his thing, man. To be an extra guy that was coming off of his, couple down years with 8, 9, and 10 sacks. He did his thing for us with 13, 18, 12, and 10. So, yeah, can't say it's a bad investment. He did his thing. He gets the pressures when need be, for the most part, and yeah, does his thing. Now, our linebacking core, Zach Vaughn has been here since launch, and he made one Pro Bowl in his rookie year, and that was really it. It's really nothing to talk about here. He's just a solid base linebacker that's going to play, either outside linebacker position, can rush the passer pretty solidly, which is how I used him initially. But, he's a decent off-ball linebacker. Solid starter there. Deion Jones. This is another up and down kind of streaky type player. I've always wanted to change this. I finally got the chance to change that ability. He used to have under pressure here. It was so useless to have under pressure on an inside linebacker that was never really rushing the passer. But in any case, here we are with his career stats with us in 4 seasons. I believe this is the only Pro Bowl he made, which is the first year with us. 10 interceptions, 14 TFLs, 3 sacks. Now, ironically, I feel like I wasn't getting a lot of sacks with my inside linebackers until I started to play with Deion Jones. And he basically opened up the game for me. Like, I really started to like, oh, if he has this speed, I can put him at this position, and he can, wreak havoc that way. I've rushed him off the edge, used him as an edge rusher. I've rushed him, up the middle, schemed up some blitzes for him to get pressured and stuff like that, and used him as a spy and got a couple sacks as well. So, shout out to Deion Jones for, opening my eyes to show me how to basically run my linebackers. But consistently around 5 sacks. If you put down the averages, I would say he averaged 4.5, 5 sacks a season. And consistently around five interceptions, which is pretty much a Pro Bowl season for a linebacker in real life. 5 sacks, 5 interceptions, Pro Bowl. Ton of pass deflections here every season for us, more than what he's had in his career, obviously. But not a lot of forced fumbles, but he had a few. He had 7 for us, but he scored a shit ton of touchdowns. 13 touchdowns in 4 seasons, not bad. And yeah, these are all simulated games here. He really didn't go off and do anything. Sucks that, like, sims are terrible, bro. Like, you just don't get stats at all. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So Takk McKinley. Let's talk about Takk McKinley real quick. He was an interesting free agent signing, right? So I was, I missed the draft. Came back after the draft. I think it was a day late. And I saw Takk McKinley in free agency. He was like a 72 overall, listed at defensive tackle. So I signed him. Told the commissioner, like, hey, I'm going to move this guy back to, defensive end. Moved him out to defensive end, and he was an 82 overall. An 82 overall. I'm like, okay, this is a solid starter, right? As you can see, he has 11 sacks here. This is the most sacks he's had in his career, with his highest being 9 playing for the Falcons, right? So there's one year when I see, tops his career total in sacks. What's crazy is he had 5 forced fumbles. 5, bruh. I believe that's more forced fumbles than he had in his career as well. Yeah, he had 4 in his career total. He got 5 for us. Now, what sucks about all of these simulated games is he didn't get any sacks. He didn't chart any sacks. The playoff game we played, he got 2. But yeah, legit, like, he was wrecking shit early in the season, bro. This was a simulated game. I didn't play this one, but every game I played, he charted sacks. Um, and he was getting them at a nice clip, you know? 1, 3, got 2 here, 3 there, 1 there. These 2 were simulated games as well. And then game against the football team. Like, he was on a tear and on his way to a Pro Bowl. I was hoping, you know, if we'd have played out all these games, I was hoping to get him, you know, get him a Pro Bowl spot, maybe get a dev scenario game in here somewhere. I thought he would have got one after he had 3 sacks, but he didn't. And my thought process was just hoping and praying that he got to 85 overall by the time the playoffs rolled around, because I would have got the stats. I would have got the sacks for sure, and he would have just kept getting XP. But the plan was to get him to an 85 overall so he can have edge threat. And I had saved my last upgrade, you know, for my players, so I could do that. But didn't play the games, didn't get the stats, didn't get the XP, so it all went downhill. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I had fun with Takk McKinley, man. He had some pretty dominant games, and definitely a good pickup. Definitely a good pickup, man. There's the 5 forced fumbles in 4 games. It's insane. But yeah, man, that's the squadron. I'm gonna miss the team. It was fun playing with this squad, building up this team, and you know, getting it to a point where I could just like set it and forget it, and and just ball out, man. Just play however I wanted to play. Had the best offensive line in the league, hands down. And was able to just have fun with it, bro. Like, so many players above 95 is insane. Like, on offense, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you count 90 overalls, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's counting. Let's see. Yeah, the center and the wide receiver there. Defense has always been stout. This guy, I mean, I can't say he's a disappointment, but at the same time, I expected better numbers from him. But people just really don't throw at strong safeties for whatever reason. He's never had more than 6 picks. I considered moving him to my user sub linebacker, but I just went against it. I was like, no, you know what? You can just sit back there and play safety, bro. He's got 1 touchdown in his career, 1 forced fumble. Nyeh. Before we get out of here, though, we're definitely going to take a look at career stats. This is one of the craziest things. I never thought that I would get anything close to these numbers. But this Madden proved to be, you know, easy enough on offense. So if we take a look at NFL records, if we go to career, passing yards, we're not going to hit that. That's just way too much. But we are up there in passing touchdowns. I should have hit 500 touchdowns if I would have played all the games. Really wanted to hit 500. Well, Patrick Mahomes also didn't hit 500, so meh. Brady with 586. That's insane. I would say I would try to break that record in the next game, but to be honest, bro, throwing 492 in 8 seasons is not easy. Throwing another 100? Like, no. I would have to average 80 touchdowns a year in 8 seasons. Something crazy like that. 80 plus touchdowns. But as you can see right there, man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6 on the list. Right behind Mahomes, but ahead of Russell Wilson, ahead of Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers, Dan Marino. Good company for Tyler Huntley to be in. Receiving yards, or rushing yards, I'm sorry. Saquon Barkley, I knew he was going to take it, man. He was off by, I want to say, 1,100, 1,200 yards at the start of the season, so I knew he was going to hit it. Ezekiel Elliott right there at number 4 all time. It's pretty dope. Cam Akers. I believe both these guys had over 2,000 yards multiple times. Well, obviously Zeke prior to coming to my team, because we're not running for 2,000 yards, bro. Absolutely not. Never, ever, ever gonna do it. Miles Sanders up there as an active player. Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, all right on the cusp of 15,000 yards, which is crazy to think. But there you go. Cam Akers and Zeke Elliott leading the top guys at 4 and 5 all time. Rushing touchdowns. Aaron Jones, bro, like he shattered the career touchdown record, bro. Like it's crazy. 188 touchdowns. Jaguars guy we played in the first Super Bowl and beat him. 175. Miles Sanders for the Eagles. And these are players that never left their teams. The top 4 guys never left their team. Zeke Elliott was able to get it mainly because of the CPU games, but hey, it's there. 5th all time. Can you say he's the greatest Cowboy ever because he got more touchdowns than Emmitt Smith? I don't know. But literally, Emmitt Smith, the former record holder in real life, is the only guy on the top 10 list that wasn't playing actively in the CFM. So, yeah, there's that. Receiving yards. Let's see here. Oh, they let DJ Chark pass him, bro. That's so bad. They let DJ Chark pass my man, bro. Like, how do we not secure that spot, bro, with a 99 overall quarterback, the best offensive line? Like, how do we not secure it? That's so bad. But as you can see right there, Becton with 16,255 yards. Considering that DJ Chark was, he already had 2 years in the league maybe 3 years in the league prior to Becton getting, obviously into the game. It's not bad at all. But we'll take a look at DJ Chark's numbers over his career as well. But there it is. Sergio Becton with 16,255 yards in 8 seasons, averaging 2,000 yards a season, bro. Good shit. Receiving touchdowns. I'm glad to see that Becton kept this record at least. Jerry Rice's record is a record that I literally thought that would never fall because it took him 20 years to do it, 19 and a half or 20 years, whatever it was that he played. 197 touchdowns, bro. He also has 203 total touchdowns in his career because of rushing touchdowns and stuff. But, bro, 197 touchdowns is untouchable. Until Sergio Becton got into the league. And in 8 seasons, bro, 207 touchdowns. That's the most touchdowns by anyone all time, even when you're factoring in rushing guys as well. 188. 207 touchdowns, man. I'll check the stats for Aaron Jones. I really don't want to burst my bubble. He has 188 rushing touchdowns. So that would make him need what? 12 plus 7 is 19. So he would need 19 receiving touchdowns over his career. Well, 20 to break it, 19 to tie. But yeah, man, Sergio Becton, 207 receiving touchdowns, bro. That's fucking insane. DJ Chark right behind him. Tyreek Hill's on that list as well with 162. Nothing to scoff at. More than Randy Moss, which is crazy. DK Metcalf. Seahawks user was killing with DK Metcalf earlier in the year. And then it just tapered off. He just went to just literally only running stretch out of iPhone close. It was pretty bad. T.O.'s still there. Paris Campbell with the Colts. My guy Ruddy. Henry Ruggs, the third with the Raiders. DeAndre Hopkins with the Colts. So, I don't think anybody is on this list for catches. Michael Thomas. Wow. He barely made that list with 1,077 catches. Michael Thomas. Oh, I can say that the Saint made it. He played more seasons with the Saints than he did with the Colts. Yeah, he's played 4 seasons with the Colts, and I want to say 6 or 7 with the Saints. So, I'd say he's a Saint. Did most of his damage as a Saint, trust me. I guess the other active player would be DeAndre Hopkins with 1,100 catches there. Larry Fitzgerald was there at launch, but I'm sure nobody used him, which sucks. But it is what it is. The only person on this list, the active guy, is going to be Von Miller, and whatever Edwards' first name is, I can't remember. But yeah, that was Cobb's guy. 145 sacks in his career, which ranks him, I believe, 7th. Yep, 7th all time in sacks for a career, and Von Miller's up there at 3. So good shit, Von. Good shit, Edwards. Interceptions. Paul Krause still has the record at 81, because Lattimore only had 1 interception in 5 simulated games. What a crock. Donnell Savage up there with 79. Darius Slay. Big play Slay with 77. So is Jalen Ramsey. So does Justin Reed. So does Monte Nicholson. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is there at 75. Terrell Burgess at 74. Pretty much it was the race to 82, bro. That race to 82, and we weren't able to play, so yeah, that sucked. Let's take a look at career stats. I want to check for Aaron Jones. If he doesn't have 19 receiving touchdowns, then we are good to go with claiming that record, and he has 37. So Aaron Jones is the far and away all-time leader for touchdowns in a career. With 188 on the ground and another 37 through the air. Wowzers. I'm not going to do the math in my head. I'm just going to grab the calculator real quick. So let's go 188 plus 37. 225 touchdowns in his career. Insanity. Insanity. Alrighty. Let's actually get this screenshot, man. This is pretty dope. Definitely want this screenshot, baby. Oh, Zeke also has 38 touchdowns or receiving touchdowns in his career as well. It's pretty dope. My man Sprinkle hit 50. Would have been nice to get into 500 catches. Would have been cool. But there's our guy. There is our guy. Mike Evans has 15,000 yards. Almost 1,000 catches. Half of Becton's touchdowns. That's crazy. Becton scored 2 times as many touchdowns as Mike Evans, and he has also played 2 times less games. Craziness. Craziness. Alright, man. I'm gonna take my ass to bed, bro. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't, be sure to dislike, leave some comments, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.